I guess this would be considered an anti-haul instead of a haul. I'm not bringing things in, I'm moving things out. So I sold, I think, 7 items last time. Oh, well, they haven't sold yet. I sent them all to the RealReal, and it was mostly shoes, and I think that Gucci travel bag, I sent that off. One thing has sold, and that is those really pretty sparkly Gucci shoes with the birds on them. That sold. I think I made $130 off of those. And that's okay because I didn't purchase them for that much. They were really on markdown. They were clearanced when I bought them. So I didn't really lose that much on those. So I'm good with that one. But everything else is listed. I think there's one Gucci dad sandals that still need to be listed on the RealReal. Further clean out here. You know, because if you've seen my video on everything's got to go, well, everything's got to go. Well, not everything. And I've said that before that, you know, I'm not parting with the things that I truly love. Like you can see some of my purses in the case. This is an IKEA case in the background here. This is where I keep my purses. We live in an older house, and just in case anything leaks in our roof and our ceiling and our plumbing or anything, I want to make sure these babies are kept protected. So that's why they are in this IKEA case. And some of these purses, I don't want to part with. I love them dearly, and I'm just not ready to part with them. And it's the case with my shoes over here too. Some of those, I don't want to part with those either. So some of it are very comfortable, and the ones that I am parting with are just not suiting my lifestyle anymore. And that's what I have here today, is some of these that are just not suiting my lifestyle. Some of them that I've struggled to work with, struggled to make part of my lifestyle. And now that I am not going into an office anymore, and that we're getting close to the retirement age here, my lifestyle has changed, and I'm seeking comfort over looks. Okay, so let's get into it. Where do we want to start? I guess we'll start with the shoes. How about that? All right, so we're going to start with these shoes here. These are, I think they're called Echo. Yeah, these are the Echo shoes. Cute little detail right here. Kind of lug loafers, lug penny loafers here. As far as comfort, these are comfortable. They provide a lot of cushion for my feet. Very, very comfortable, but I have a problem with the back, and they rub on my ankles, and I know that I can put band-aids on them, but when I'm in them and I'm starting to walk around, they kind of mold to your feet, and they get very warm, and I'm already going through menopause. I don't need any more warmth in my body. So they get very warm, and I don't feel like I have enough room in these. I think they're a size 8. I don't have enough room in the back of these to warrant the blister band-aids that I would need to wear with them. The other thing is the color. You know, I've said in the back that, or in my previous videos, that I don't have a lot of reds, and, you know, other than, you know, those Lily Pulitzer shirts that you've seen before, I really don't have a lot of pinks in my wardrobe. My wardrobe is very neutral, and I keep it that way on purpose, you know, so that things can mix and match. So although these are kind of a mauve color, and they are kind of neutral, and I can make them work with like grays and maroons, I think I'm going to go ahead and sell them. And I think with these, I'm going to go ahead and sell them to the consignment store rather than the RealReal, just because they're not like luxury type shoes. They're just, you know, they're not cheap, but they're not luxury shoes. And so I think we're going to go ahead and pass them off at the consignment store. I think they'll do better there. Okay. Got another pair of shoes in this bag here because I didn't have the box. I thought I had the box, but I don't have the box. Okay, these are Gucci, and I really hate parting with these. Wait till you see them, because they're just gorgeous. Aren't they so pretty? The little dragon detail and the little heels with the crystals on here. I just love these little pink soles. So, you know, like I said, I really hate parting with them because they're the perfect heel height here. One, I don't really have an occasion to wear these anymore. And two, the last time I wore these was, I think, a couple years ago. I was having dinner with my girlfriends at a restaurant, and on the way back to the car, when I was wearing these, they were so uncomfortable to walk in. I had to walk a little bit of a distance to my car from where the restaurant was, and I thought I was gonna die. I don't know what went wrong in when I got these and wore these a few times versus that particular time. But again, this is all about comfort. I am really wanting to preserve my feet. I'm wanting just to have comfortable walking feet for when we, go to Mexico and we go on different adventures and stuff. I just want to be comfortable, and these are neither comfortable nor are they practical, but they sure are pretty. But I'm going to sell them. Okay, next up. Nikki, you have a lot of Chanel. Yeah, I know. I have a lot of Chanel. I know. Okay, the deal with these is that I have tried and tried and tried over the last 4 years to make these work. And I am realizing, or I've realized before, that I just cannot make ballet flats work with my feet. I just can't do it. They're painful. Chanel runs very narrow, in my opinion. I don't even think it's my opinion. I think it's just a fact. Their shoes run very narrow, and they do make some shoes, like when you look at the back here, and these are 38.5. I always have to go up a half size, in closed-toed shoes with Chanel. With her sandals, I'm fine with an 8, but with these, I have to go to 38.5. But sometimes, Chanel will make a wider shoe, and it'll say a C next to the size of it. I don't know if that's the case with their ballet slippers or their ballet flats. I got to tell you, the leather on this, it's lambskin. Oh, that is such nice leather. I mean, very, very comfortable around the sides. But again, these very flat. The vamps up here, something about my toe nowadays, again, I don't know if it's menopause, if it's just getting older, but on my right foot, my toe is just kind of hitting the top of these vamps here, which are hard. See that? They're hard. And it's not working for my foot. Again, I gave these shoes 4 years of trying, and I cannot make them work. So I gotta sell them. I just gotta sell them. I don't know what I'm going to get for them. I hope I get something back for them, but we'll see. Okay, next up, Fendi. Or should I do it this way? Fendi. No, doesn't matter. Okay, these are called, I think, the Calibra. I think that's what they're called. So the last time I wore these was, I think, 3 years ago. Aren't they gorgeous? They're just gorgeous. And low heel. Pretty comfortable, but pointy toe isn't always that comfortable. These weren't too bad. These were in a size 38. I find that Fendi runs true to size, sometimes a little bit bigger actually. But what was really comfortable was this back feature here. This right here, look at that. That is so comfortable. I wish all shoes came with this really great padding back here. That would just make life so much easier, wouldn't it? But these ones here, again, it's about the lifestyle. It's about not having any place to wear these, and just not fitting in to my future lifestyle. I think I bought these about 4 years ago, maybe, when things were looking okay to go back into the office. But that never really happened. So, again, I don't have an occasion for these. I love them. I think they're beautiful. We're getting to the shoes in my collection where I absolutely love. Didn't think I'd ever part with. The ones before, it was an easy thing with the Chanel sandals because, those were flat, and I had replaced them with different ones that were better suited for my foot. But these here, just don't have the occasion. Going forward, I don't think I'm gonna buy any heels. Why? Why? If I don't really do anything that goes into an office situation, or you know, some type of business situation where I need to be dressed up like this, why have them? Why have them sitting around? Again, last time I wore these, I think it was 3 years ago. So bye-bye Fendi. Okay, and last on the shoe list is Tod's. Okay, so I love Tod's. I own a couple of things. One of the things I'm going to be selling, actually, not because of quality. Tod's is amazing quality. When I went to New York City with my husband in 2022 and we went to see Plaza Suite with Sarah Jessica Parker, one of the things I did is I had set aside some money to go buy some loafers from Tod's. You know, I'd gone into several other stores. I went into Hermes and stuff like that and tried them on, and they weren't as comfortable as the Tod's loafers that I have, and I have 2 pairs of them in my collection here. These here are sandals, and I probably should not have bought these because they're the wrong size. Now, I find that these particular ones do run a little bit big. Look, it's got everything in it. You know, the paper, dust bags, everything. These do run a little bit big, but these are just too darn small for my feet. What ends up happening is, you know, I can get into them. They're like raffia type sandals, nice cushiony heel. I do have another pair that I bought that are a half size bigger and that I'm keeping because those are comfortable. One of the things with these, because they are smaller, is my foot sits fine in it, but I find that when I'm walking, my foot kind of slides towards the front and hangs out the front end of this. And that can be kind of uncomfortable because there's 2 levels here with this. So the other thing that happens is that my foot, my pinky toe, it rubs right here. And so I have to either wear one of those blister band-aids or some moleskin to kind of help with that rubbing. Otherwise it turns into a gigantic blister and it's very uncomfortable. So again, it's just because that these, you know, nothing wrong with them, nothing wrong with the quality or anything. These are size 37. Again, they ran a little bit large, but not large enough to keep my foot from slipping over and having this problem here where my foot's just kind of hanging over and not a comfortable walk when it's like that. Comfortable in the heel, just not with that hangover there. So gonna go ahead and part with these. And again, I still have another pair that are all leather and cognac in color, I believe. So bye-bye Tod's. Okay. And speaking of Tod's, okay, I'm gonna part with a bag here. It's tiny. It's a teeny tiny bag. That's why I'm parting with it. Like I said, love Tod's quality of leather. If you are looking to get something that is more high-end, but not quite in the luxury category of, say, your Dior and your Gucci and, you know, your Fendi and, you know, the big houses out there. If you're wanting something that is very nice quality, company that's been around a long time, Tod's is a wonderful, wonderful option. This one right here, it's got a little magnet closure. That's kind of cool. It did not come with the strap. Apparently they have straps, but I just used one of those chain straps that I bought from Amazon, and that worked really well to make it crossbody. And it worked as a little crossbody. More room than you would think for this tiny bag. But again, I don't really have an occasion for this one. So I think I'm gonna let it go. It smells wonderful, actually. But I'm going to go ahead and let this one go. It's tiny. I have some tiny bags here. I've got the Dior back here. I've got a very special one that my husband gave me for our very first Christmas. It's a Louis Vuitton denim one that they did a re-edition of that one. And so I'm keeping that one because, you know, it's sentimental and I love it. And on occasion I use it. It's just not one of those bags that you use every day because it's kind of the same size as this. So I find that I don't reach for the littler bags. I reach for the big bags with lots of room inside and one big pocket because you know how I feel about dividers. So we're going to go ahead and part with this Tod's one. Okay, another bag that we're parting with. Let me reach behind me here. Okay, this one is Kate. I think that's how you pronounce it. This one is Kate. So I'm going to go ahead and part with this one. It is a large raffia woven type bag. And I first saw it out in California, Newport Beach. So I was going to a restaurant. I think I was on a work trip, and I was going to a restaurant, and I saw this woman carrying this on her shoulder, and she was much slender than I am, and she just looked amazing with this bag. And I stopped her, and I'm like, oh my God, who makes that bag? Because I had never seen one that was, like this long. And that's part of the reason why I'm selling it. Because to get into this thing, I mean, you gotta go tunneling. You gotta really want to get into the bottom of this bag here. It's a pain in the butt to get into. I don't think I've carried it very many times just because of that factor. It's just so big. And so if I were to get another summer bag that was raffia like this or woven, I would definitely get something that was, I mean, come on people, this is so big. But very nice bag. It's too bad that it is this long, but it's part of the reason that I wanted to buy it is because it looks so great when you're carrying it. It doesn't stay on my shoulders very well. Again, I'm not slender. So maybe that's the reason. It's just not working for me. So I'm going to go ahead and pass this one on. Okay. And then I have 2 of these Lily Pulitzer beach bags. Let me bring over the other one. Green. Pink. I'm going to get rid of these. These were part of, I don't know if you remember this. So I think it was 2015 when Target, you know how Target does those collaborations? Well, they did a collaboration with Lily Pulitzer. And I don't know if you guys remember this because, I sure as heck did. Lots and lots of people wanted all of this stuff and they were going crazy for it. And the lines in the store and the people on, when it came out on that day, they were in the store and they were fighting over the pillows and the purses and the clothes and the dresses. Do you remember the dresses? My mother, she hemmed them and she, brought them down to size for me and stuff, and which I really, really appreciate her doing that. Those dresses, they were great because for the first time, plus size women were able to buy these Lily Pulitzer dresses, because if you go into a Lily Pulitzer store, I think that they go up to size 14 or 16, sometimes just size 14 and just size extra large and things. So they're not really size inclusive, but this particular line that they did in 2015, and it had a really, really cute advertising ad. It was the first time that plus size women were able to buy those shift dresses, those Palm Beach style shift dresses that she's so famous for. And, I owned a couple of them too for a while before, I passed them on. But I think this is the last of it that I have are these 2 bags. And inside these bags are just, a few things that I want to take to the consignment store. That's where I'm going to take these. Some beach hats, some jewelry, costume jewelry. Well, that guy from the garage sale would really want that. Got any costume jewelry? Got it. Give me your class ring, lady. But costume jewelry inside of this. No class rings. And this one, I think it's like a raincoat and, just another strap to one of those bandolier straps. I just couldn't get this to work for me. It's supposed to be for glasses, but the strap is just too thick. So I couldn't get this to work for me. So I'm going to take this. I'm going to take these Echo shoes. And that's going to go to the consignment. I have an appointment this afternoon to take those to the consignment, drop those off. Okay, so I think that's it. That's sold a lot, or passed a lot onto consignment and onto like places like the Real and Fashion File. I think I'll probably, other than the stuff that I've mentioned, going to the consignment, what I'll probably do is go ahead and pass this stuff on to the Real as well. I might not make as much as if I had tried to pursue it through Fashion File. But like Fashion File is very picky when they come to brands. So, I could try to, get these ballet flats off to Fashion File. But again, I think the market's really saturated right now and they may not want a pair of shoes that have been worn a few times. unless there's something that it's just really popular right now. So I think we'll just go with the RealReal on this, since they tend to accept more items. Again, probably won't make as much, but you know, I have to look at it as these things are going to just sit on my shelf, or you know, in my closet here, just sitting here and not working for me. Or I could take a cut in money from what I originally paid for them like 4 years ago, and make a little bit of money that will help us with our move. So that's where all of this stuff is going. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please give it a thumbs up, give it a like, and consider subscribing to my channel if you like this type of content. Let me know if there's other content you would like to see. If you'd like to see my purse collection, if you'd like to see more shoe collection in the luxury sphere, I'd be happy to do that for you. Okay, until then, hasta luego, my friends.